Retiring sets. There's more coming up. There's loads retiring in December. In front of me here, I've got 3 of my favourites that I own that we're going to have a quick delve into today. Let you know a couple of the features. I'm not going to do a full review, but I'm just going to show you a little bit about each one, whether I think it's worth purchasing and what you can currently get them at right now online before they retire. We're going to kick things off with the Sarlacc Pit Set, guys. So this is one of the retiring sets that I own. I think it's a really good set. There's obviously been a lot of stuff about whether it belongs or should have come in with the UCS sail barge set or not. I do agree it would work really well with it, and it's not the biggest set in the world. It's a nice little set to have. It's got some cool functions to it. You know, you've got your technically things here from Sarlacc itself, a bit of carcoon and all that stuff. You get a really cool Boba figure here. Let's just show you him. Got some good old printing on him. He's got his pretty epic arm printing there as well. You've got your leg printing. Yeah, classic as you like, and of course these days you get his grumpy face underneath, which is pretty cool. So just a bit of a close-up there on his printing. Brilliant. Look at that mythosaur thing. Honestly, printing on him is incredible. Other minifig wise in the set, you've obviously got your Luke Skywalker here with or without lightsaber. Again, of course, you've got the choice to have a smiley head, but you know, in this situation he's quite serious because he's about to get dropped in the pit of Sarlacc. You've got Chewie, some manacles, you've got Lando in his guard outfit, and you've got Han, who you can have with his kind of no, the Sarlacc pit, or you can have him with his kind of wry looking smile there, which is pretty cool as well. But I quite like him kind of looking away, which you could have obviously him dangling down, or you can have him kind of going, "Ah, Luke, no." So that's pretty cool. In the set, of course, you do get the skiff. I won't go into too much detail on it, but you've got a little this opens up, so obviously you can do the scene where it's kind of slanted across and everyone's falling out and hands sort of dangling across the edge. You have got this little thing which comes in and out from a little lever underneath, which is pretty cool as well. The actual design's quite smart. You've got this little thing on the back, which is just a bent round, and on the front here. It's quite a smart little set, and not tons and tons of pieces in it, but pretty cool. And these bits do move about a little bit. You can angle them down, up, down, etc. And of course you have got the little see-through elements underneath, which if you put it next to the actual pit, sorry Chewie, I'm just going to take you off for a second. It doesn't hang very high up. You can't really have it kind of hovering over the Sarlacc pit like you'd expect it to be, like this, look. Because it's kind of up here in the film. But then equally, the Sarlacc pit itself is much larger and is more of a cone kind of shape, isn't it? It's not this kind of... I think they've done what they can as a design without having an enormous base and loads of pieces. So price-wise, what can we get this at the minute, guys? It's $69.99 on the Lego store. That's the price it was when it came out as well. 70 quid is probably a bit much for this, in my opinion. I got it on a sale. I managed to get it for about 55 a few months back. But currently, as prices are at the minute, before it retires, you can get it for £48 UK sterling in Argos, $47.99 John Lewis, and $47.99 in good old Smith's Toy Store as well. I'm sure there's lots of US places that have got it on sale as well, so do keep an eye out. You'll probably find your Walmarts and we've got Costco over here that do that as well, and loads of different Black Friday sales, and Amazon also has it around the £50 mark from what I've seen as well. So keep an eye out, that's really good. In terms of the rest of it, really, there's not much else to say. I quite like the design here. Look, I know it's only a small set, but having the little kind of teethy bits, and it kind of above, it kind of looks like it's coming out of a pit a little bit. It's just pretty cool. So it has got more to it than meets the eye, to excuse the Transformers expression. A couple of little engines on the back of the skiff. Not really much going on underneath, obviously, but you wouldn't expect that. But yeah, I think that's probably worth picking up if you can get it for the $47.99, or even if it goes down to 45 or so. Worth it for your collection. If you're like me and you can't afford the actual sail barge itself, this is probably the next best thing to it for now anyway, really, if you're not going to buy one of the Jabba's throne room sets or something like that. So let's move on to the next set on the list. Next up, the Tantive IV, complete with our little 25 years of Lego Star Wars little stud brick placky thing there. So this is a really good set, to be honest. You've probably seen my Millennium Falcon one, but if you haven't, check it out. It's only a small short video about it, but I didn't have any of the MIDI scale sets as such, and then I bought this one and the Falcon at the same time. This obviously is retiring this year, but I think it's great. If you're a fan of the original trilogy, this is such an iconic ship. I mean, look at the engine banks at the back. Just really cool. Obviously, I haven't got the big one. So I always wanted a version of this ship of some sort, and this is just fits the bill. It's fantastic. It's got a little square hole in the base. You can pop the ship on either way round, so you can have it facing this way or the other way. I think it's the other way on the actual box picture, but you can have it facing whatever way you want, really. It's not angled like the Falcon one is, but it's good. I mean, look at some of the detailing you've got on here. The engines obviously are pretty cool. Got some cool little kind of greebling effects going along. Not tons and tons of detail, and obviously it's quite small. And there's a few stickered elements on it here and there. Unfortunately, all these bits here are stickers. You've got to be a bit careful about putting them on, obviously. But yeah, great set. And I think if you can get it for the price it's at the moment, which I'm going to get into now, then you're well away, really. It's a good little set, fits on the shelf nicely, and it is actually a fun build. I really enjoy building this one, to be honest, which is quite an important thing these days. I used to just get the sets and think, the build's, nothing really, and I just want it for display and stuff or playing with. But yeah, these days I really appreciate the build process as well. So this one is, again, on Lego, same as the Sarlacc Pit, $69.99 at the minute, but it's £49 in Asda or $49.99 on Amazon. This has got 654 pieces, so a bit more than the Sarlacc Pit, which has only got 558. So yeah, if you can pick this up, guys, go for it. And let's get to our last and biggest one of these sets. What up, Rebels? Here we go. So this is the Ghost and Phantom 2. So if you're not a fan of the show Rebels, or you've not really got any interest in ships outside the main films, this might not be for you. But for anyone who's watched the Rebels series, which I highly recommend, highly recommend, or even just Ahsoka, if you really like Ahsoka and you think, oh, what's that ship, and you don't know what it is, this is the Ghost, guys. This is brilliant. It's a great ship. It's a massive part of the Rebels series. This is a great build to put together. It's quite fun. There's a couple of tedious points in it, but in general, I find it quite fun. The shape's obviously not the most exciting to put together in the world, but there's a few good bits. There's some cool printed pieces on here, a few stickers dotting about. You can see that one's a sticker, obviously. And it's quite cool. There's a little thing underneath as well, which makes the turret go backwards and forwards. If I can find the little bit that you push. Where are you? Here it is. You've got this little piece underneath, which just makes the... Okay, so I might have actually just broken that trying to show you what it does. I've never done that before in this model, but you can see it sort of moves the little gun turret underneath. If I move that backwards and forwards, you kind of have to push it from each side. There's a little thing underneath, and it just swings it round, which is quite cool. In terms of the rest of it, you've got your little pilot area under here. You can't really see it very well in this light, but you've got that in there. You've got a little spot up there for someone to sit with controls. Also, this whole top section, you've got this here. It just seems to be loads of little spots for people to sit in. You can take the Phantom 2 off as well, which is pretty cool. This opens up. Now, you haven't got any room for anyone to sit in there properly, but they can lay down in it quite nicely. It's quite a cool little addition. Looks pretty cool as a shuttle on its own. Engines, I think, really nicely detailed. They look pretty cool, to be fair. I think that's a one up from the original set. And this side bit, not super detailed greebling, but it just gives it a cool profile. Looks pretty cool, and you can take some bits off, like this whole top section comes off. You've got like an interior bit there, these bits kind of come up a little bit. And of course, if you do all this, you can open it up, and you've got places for them all to sit. There's a little stand there that Chopper can stand in. You've got some cool little, not loads and loads of detail, but some cool little bits in there, and some little features which are pretty cool. Little sink and stuff, which is pretty smart. So you've got all the sleeping quarters and everything, which is pretty doody. So yeah, I quite like it. In terms of minifigs, let's just pop that back on there for a moment, and pop the Phantom back on there, and we're going to just get into a couple of the figures quickly. If I move the Ghost to one side, and a lovely squeaky thing. Minifigs. Now this is you don't get this little stand thing. I just made this out of a few spare bricks I had, so please ignore that. But you've got this kind of admirably, Rebel Alliance-y kind of New Republic dude there. I can't remember his name, so please excuse me. You've got little Jason, which it's a shame he doesn't have his kind of dark green hair. Great little figure. He's quite cool. You've got your back printing on most of them, to be fair, as well. Or all of them, actually. There we go. Obviously, you've got Hera Syndulla, hero of the show. Pretty cool. Eyes, they look quite cool, to be fair. Could have made slightly different ones, but they've kind of gone down this coloured eye route, haven't they, recently? But yeah, obviously Chop's awesome. You got to love Chopper. And then this chap, forgive me, I can't remember his name from the show. It's been a while since I've watched Ahsoka. But these guys, obviously from Ahsoka, you don't get the full Rebels crew because at this point they're all dispersed, all in different places, or you know, or dead or alive, or assumed wherever they might be. Of course, no spoilers from the Ahsoka show or anything, or from Rebels. I won't try and spoil that. But if you like Hera and Chopper, this set alone is brilliant for the minifigures for them. And, you know, it's a good little set, really, for those. I mean, at the moment, price-wise, is quite a hefty one. I got this when it was nearly new, so I did pay full price for it. And it is still the full price on the LEGO website. It's $149.99, which is quite a lot. It does have 1394 pieces in it. So it's quite a hefty old set. It does feel quite big as well. I mean, you can see the size of it from my hand. It's got some good swooshability. It's quite a solid old set, apart from the bit I snapped off. And pretty good. But in terms of prices, you can get it brand new. You know, if you don't really want the figures, you just want the ship. Loads of people are selling it on eBay because they're obviously scalping the minifigures off it, and you can get that for about £100. At the minute, the best I can find this for is about 127 on Amazon. You might find some better places. There might be some good places in the US or elsewhere in the world, but in the UK at the minute, Amazon seems to have the best price, 127. Smiths don't really stock it anymore because it's been out a couple of years or so now. But I think if you can get it for that price and you're really a fan of Rebels, then definitely go for it if you can. If you're not a big fan of Rebels, then this might be one to let slip at this point. But of course, the original Ghost went for masses on the aftermarket with all the figures. So see what you think, guys. Are any of you going to get either of these three sets? Are they for you? Are they not for you? Let us know in the comments. As usual, I appreciate it. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys. Da, 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 da.